Hi magical humans, welcome back to the 365-day MOJO challenge. I'm going to share with you today what I do at the end of every month and the beginning of every month in order to set myself up for success for the next month. I'm going to break down what I do, how I do it, do I set goals? If so, how do I set goals? I'm going to break down all the things so that you guys, if you want to, if it feels aligned for you, you can start kind of picking up on the same system if it's aligned with you. So I came up with this system because as an entrepreneur, your months can start to blend together. As an entrepreneur, you can sometimes get in this rabbit hole of, not a rabbit hole, but this cycle of needing to start over every month. Like every month feels like it's starting over. Happy pumpkin season! And I didn't like that. I didn't like that every month felt like I was starting over. It felt like a rat race, like always having to do something new every single month. So I didn't like that. And I also didn't like the unknowingness of like, what do we do this month? You know what I mean? Like, how do you close the chapter of the last month, learn from the last month, and move effectively into the next month with what you're gonna do? Like, how do you go month to month as an entrepreneur? So I came up with this system because of myself, because I was in this cycle and I didn't like it, and I wanted a way to break up and celebrate each and every month in business, so that they didn't all blend together and become like a year. Right? I wanted separation, and I wanted an ability and a reason to celebrate every month, no matter what. I love celebrating. If you're in my world, you know this. I love celebrating when someone joins our higher end programs. We send them flowers and we celebrate them. We send crowns and we celebrate. We send unicorn slippers and we celebrate. We celebrate on every single call that we have. If you're in any of my higher programs, I just love celebrating because life is worth celebrating. Can I get an amen? Life is worth celebrating. So what I came up with and what I do every month is this. I'll break it down for you. So at the end of every month, let's start here. At the end of every single month, what I do is I look at a few things. I look at some numbers, and I know if you're not a numbers girl, this may be like, no numbers. But I promise you, when you have a masculine structure set up for yourself, it allows you to tap into your feminine, creative, visionary side. When I didn't have this system set up for myself, I would have a lot of anxiety at the beginning and end of the months, and I would have a lot of confusion at the beginning and the end of the months. And because of those two things, I was in my masculine anyways, because I was trying to figure things out and make things happen, and I was out of my power, I was out of alignment. So when you set up a masculine structure for yourself, you can then surrender into your feminine inside the safety of the structure and dream and manifest magic money and do all these things. So the things that I look at the end of the month are what were sales? So what did we sell, right? What did we sell? How much money through programs or whatever you're selling was sold? So the amount sold. I also look at what sold. So let's say you sell hair products and you sell headbands and bracelets and whatever. I would say, okay, how much collectively was sold? And how many things of each product were sold. Like what sold the most. And then I look at cash in. And so most people don't do this, but it's really important that you do this. You want to look at sales, and then you want to look at cash, right? Especially if you have like payment plans or things of that nature that people can pay over time. You want to look at what you sold and the cash that came in. Then after that, you want to look at one-time income and recurring income, okay? So at the end of every month, myself or someone on my team will look over the numbers and say, okay, we sold this much, cash that came in was this much, okay? Because those two numbers, especially if you're a coach or something online, may be different, because if you sell a $10,000 program, that's $10,000 in sales, but if they're on a payment plan and they only did $2,000 this month for the payment plan, then cash in was 2,000, not 10. So sales would be 10, cash in would be 2. And then I want to look at, okay, what is recurring income? Like what's recurring income and how long is that recurring income? And then what were one-time things, okay? The reason I want to know this is because as an entrepreneur, you always want to know what your projection is 3 to 6 months out. If you're a big company, a year out. But 3 to 6 months out, I always want to know what cash in is to be expected. Because that is like your base number. Like you already know that that's coming in. You already know that that's there. And so you can kind of sit in safety and assurance that this is already coming in, right? And if you feel good about that, and that understanding in your business allows you to be more creative and come up with new programs and just be excited about what you're doing. So those are the things that I look at for numbers and money and sales. And then also what I look at is what did I do to promote my business last month? Like what were the actions that I did to promote? Did I go live? Did I do a masterclass? Did I write emails? Did I post on Instagram? Did I post on Facebook? Like what were my efforts to promote what I was selling? And like how did these things sell? And I'll look at what worked really well. And I'll also look at what I enjoyed a lot. Did I, like this worked really well, okay, great. Did I enjoy it, yes or no? Good morning, Lindsay. If I didn't enjoy it, I'll ask myself, is there another way that I could do this so that I enjoy it more? Or do I want to just get rid of it completely? If I did things that I didn't enjoy, I get rid of them. And I think about something new for the next month. Because you don't want something yucky from one month to perpetuate in the next month because you were too lazy to say, I'm done with it. Okay? Or you were too scared to say, I'm done with it. When you get rid of things that don't bring you joy that you do, you allow space for new strategies and new aligned ways to come into your life, to be attracted to you via the law of attraction that you really love. And when you really love what you're doing and how you're doing it, your magnetism increases, and then the results that you want come in faster and faster and faster. So if you're in a space where you're like, oh, I'm afraid to let go of this because it works, I want you to remind yourself, well, if I let go of this, I'm leaving room, I'm opening up space for something better to be attracted to me, then I'm actually going to enjoy a lot more and will probably bring me in a lot more cash because I enjoy it so much. The purpose of the MOJO series is to learn how to earn more money through joy. And so if you're earning more money, but you're not enjoying how you're doing it, you're kind of missing the point, right? So you say, this worked, did I love it? Did I enjoy it? If no, can I find a way to enjoy it, or do I need to get rid of it completely? And then I say, okay, let's close that month. What did I love about that month? What was exciting about that? What am I celebrating about this month? I used to only celebrate money. And when you're only celebrating money, your context is very small. And if you only celebrate money and you didn't have a good month, then you're like, what do I have to celebrate, right? So I not only celebrate money, because I love to, but I also celebrate my life during that month. The way that I led myself during that month. The way that I led my life during that month. How was my relationship this month? How was my health this month? How did I lead myself in my health this month or last month? How did I show up as a daughter, a sister, a granddaughter last month? How did I show up in those roles? Did I, leave room for things that I really enjoyed? Did I play in the month? Did I leave room for play? Did I do fun things? Did I have fun experiences? Right? So you want to take inventory of your life experience in a month. Because if you don't, a month becomes 5 months, becomes a year, becomes 5 years, becomes your whole life, and then you're like, where did it go, right? And then I celebrate the things that I did really well. I'm like, wow, I handled my emotions really well. Like I navigated my emotions really well last month. I, was a really great daughter last month. I did this, and this in my family. Wow, I was really family oriented last month. I did this, and this. Wow, I was also really great with money last month. I earned more than I've ever earned in a month before. Blah, blah, blah. Like whatever it is. You want to take inventory of your life experiences and say, like, am I on track? Not only with money, not only with business, but with how I want to be as a family member, how I want to be as a sister, how I want to be as a lover, how I want to be as a woman on this planet, right? How I want to show up online. All the things, okay? And then you can celebrate what was good and you can change or get rid of the things that weren't so great. And then you move into the next month, right? So you close the chapter in reflection and you say, okay, now we're going to plan for the next month. And when I plan for the next month, it's a loose plan because in my world, I always like to leave room for magic. It's not rare that in the middle of the month, I'll be like, oh guys, never mind. I have a new program idea that we're doing, so change of plans. So I always leave room for magic, and I've structured my business in a way that it can be, that can work. Like I can change things like that, and everyone knows what to do and where to go and how to adjust on my team because they know how to, I teach them how to work with me, right? Because that makes sense. So I'll say, okay, what's pulling me this month? Like, what's really pulling me this month? What's pulling me? What am I desiring for this month? What do I desire? And so I'll write down my desires for the month. I don't set hardcore goals anymore. Because I know that the universe is always taking note about the things that I'm paying attention to and wanting. When I see money, bigger amounts, I'm like, whoa, yes, that's fun. When I see clothes and designer things, I'm like, oh, that's fun. When I see backpacking around the world and traveling, I'm like, oh, that's fun. You don't need to sit there all day and brainwash yourself with your goal every single month. Because your subconscious mind is so much more powerful than you think, and it is always noticing the things that you're paying attention to. So the key is to pay more attention to the things that you do want and pay less attention to the things that you don't want. And as a law, as a byproduct of that, the law of attraction will kick into place and bring you more of the things that you really enjoy. So I don't set goals, but I do say, what am I desiring for the month ahead? Like what's pulling me? What do I feel called to? For the amount of money, for the way that I want to live this month, for the things that I want to do this month, like what's the underlying tone of the month ahead, right? And then I'll say, what do I feel inspired to talk about? What do I feel inspired to share this month? What program do I feel inspired to offer my community this month? What program do I feel like is really good for the season that they're in this month? And I'll come up, like, I'll get inspired action, right? I'll start downloading inspired action and writing down, oh, I want to offer this, I want to offer this. I haven't offered this in a while. I think this is perfect. Oh my gosh, I think they would love this. I'm going to offer this. This is really exciting for me. I'm excited. I think they're going to love this offer. Maybe I'm going to do a surprise day this month. Ooh, I love surprises. Maybe they like surprises. It's harvest season. Can I give them something? What can I give for free? Right? And so I'll start downloading all these ideas and writing them down for what I want to sell, for what I want to offer, for how I want to promote it, for what I want to do in business this month. Okay? And I know that money in my world is always increasing because of the context that I have for my money experience. I'm always celebrating money, whether it's big amounts or little amounts or whatever. I'm here to understand and celebrate money over my lifetime. And so I don't set like this month we have to do this. But what I will do is I'll play the what if game with my team. So every Wednesday in my business is Queendom Day. And on Queendom Day, we have a Voxer chat where we go back and forth and we go over all the things in business and all the things that we need to do and whatever. It's really fun. But we'll also play the what if game. Like, what if this month we do this? What if this month it's a this much month? What if this month we reach 100 more people? What if this month we blah, 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 blah? What if this month we double? What if this month, right? So we play the what if game. And when you play the what if game, what you're doing is you're tapping into the field of potentiality. You're tapping into possibility. You're tapping into what could happen. What's the magic? What if, right? And so instead of saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that I easily and effortlessly earned $500,000 this month in a calm, confident manner through blah, blah, multiple revenue streams, blah, blah, blah. I say, what if? What if this month's $500,000 month? What if this month's $100,000 month for you guys? Like, whatever it is for you guys. What if this month's a $10,000 month? What if this month's a $5,000 month? What if this month I pay all my bills on time? What if this month I can plan five vacations? What if? It's like, what if? What if it happened this month? What if this month is the month? What if? So instead of saying, this must happen by this day, and this is the goal, and this is what's going to happen, what if this is the month? What if this month I earn this, and this, and this, and I get to do this? What if? Now, the other one isn't wrong, and I want to be so clear. It's not wrong if it clicks with you, but that doesn't click with me. When I say, so happy and grateful, now that by the end of the month I've earned this, I'm like, boring. Like, it doesn't get me excited. But if I say, oh my god, what if this month we earn this? I'm like, what if we do? What if we do? What would it be through? How would it happen? I don't know. How would that happen? Give me some ideas, Lois. Hello? Ideas. I want this to happen. What if it did? I want it to. Can you help me? How do we do this? Let's work together. But then if it doesn't happen, I'm not like, oh my god, I didn't brainwash myself hard enough. I didn't, ew, there's a bug! This is the one downside about living in Georgia, you guys. I just killed it with the bottom of my tripod. Sorry. I hate bugs. I love bugs. I just don't like them in my environment. Like, just don't come in my house, you know what I mean? Stay in your own house. I don't like go disrupt your ant hole. Like, go in your own house. Gosh. Where were we? Oh. If I don't hit my goal at the end of the month, if it doesn't happen this month, I'm like, okay, what if it's next month? What if it's the next one? What if it's the one after that? Am I really gonna be mad? What if it's the one after that? What if it's the one after that? Do I really care when it happens? Not really. Just take care of me until it happens, God, please. But I don't really care when it happens. I don't really care how it happens. What if it did happen? What if it did? That would be cool. That would be fun. I would love that. So, I think I told you all the things about how I end my month and how I start my month. So, okay, one thing I didn't say is in the beginning, I will also plan out when I'm doing what, okay? Especially as an entrepreneur, especially if you have a team, especially if you're running programs and stuff. The last week of every month, or like the last few days of every month, somewhere in there, like through the 28th to the 3rd, I will plan out what I'm doing for the following month. So once I have my inspiration of what I'm going to do and how I'm going to sell and all those things, I'll then pull out a written calendar and I'm like, okay, I'm going to promote this here, this here, this here, email 1, email 2, email 3, email 4, IG post 1, IG post 2, like I map out freaking everything. Because, again, I don't want to be in the 15th of the month and be like, oh my god, I didn't do anything for my business this month. No, that's not the vibe, right? Like, day 1 of the new month, okay, I want to know what I'm doing for the rest of the month. Every day in October, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to look at my calendar, and I'm going to look at my thing, and I'm going to say, oh, today I'm doing this. Today I'm doing this. This is what I need to do today in order to execute my dream of the month. So my feminine energy can surrender in my masculine structure that I set up for myself every single month. But if I don't set up my masculine structure to support my feminine, then I'm going to be anxious, I'm going to be out of my power, I'm going to be out of alignment, I'm not going to be connected to source, and I'm going to be frantic and frazzled and feel like we're not progressing. So for me, again, this clicks with me, so it works for me. This might not work for you, but it works for me, and so I'm sharing it with you. That works, setting myself up for success with my masculine structure, and then surrendering to the process throughout the month. And then when the month is ending, I reevaluate what I set up for myself, and I set up something different for myself. In this way, every single month, my life, my business, and my experience on earth is getting better and better and better and better and better.